Next, we're going to take a look at advanced options for programming paragraph styles to repeat in a patterned series. In this case, we have text on our page that has already been formatted, the title and the first block of information in a series. We have a person's name, their job title, years of experience, and a description of what their favorite part of their role is. This has been styled to use good hierarchy and break up information, but we want to be able to apply this consistently to all the other items in our box here. We will begin with creating paragraph styles for each of these items, and then look at advanced options for using next style options to be able to program applying this in a series or sequence. Keep in mind this is only useful when you have consistently formatted text like this, where it's a very consistent pattern in the same order every time. However, programming these styles to loop in a sequence is certainly more efficient for applying the style, as you can select all the text and apply one style and the series will apply, versus having to go through each and every paragraph and apply different styles separately. Here we're working exclusively with paragraph styles because, as we can see, I only have one style applied to each paragraph of text. So in this case we don't need any character styles. With our text formatted here, we're going to go ahead and create our series of paragraph styles. So for each of the items here, we're going to create a paragraph style and then go ahead and name it. So first we're going to select the title, and I don't have to select the whole paragraph, just any part of it that has the styling applied that we're looking for. I'm going to Alt or Option click to launch the style dialog box, and we're going to name this team title. We're going to repeat this for all of the items that have been styled. Alt Option click on the new style name. We're just going to call this name. Next, we're going to select and create job title. We're going to go ahead and call this years experience. And in the last one, we're just going to give it a short and easy name and call this skills. Now that we have all of our paragraph styles created, we can work to program this to apply in a sequence. As we see here, each of these examples follows the exact same order: name, title, experience, skills. And then it just repeats name, title, experience, skills. Since we don't want to have to manually apply all of these, we're going to set this up in a sequence. Now we only have the title once, and it is not repeated in our sequence, so we are not going to include this in our then next style options. I'm going to start with the first in our series, which is name. I'm going to edit the name style so that the next style used is the next style in the series. Right-click to edit name. In our General tab here, not only do we have the style name, we've previously looked at based on options, where if one style is based on another, then changes to the first style would be reflected in any of the styles that are based on that style. Here we're looking at our next style options. By default, paragraph styles use the same style for the next paragraph. This is very useful when you're formatting long blocks of information for articles or books, and you want all of the paragraphs to be styled the same way. In this case, we have a consistent series of paragraphs styled in different ways, so I'm going to say for name, the next style I want to apply is the job title. I'm going to click OK. So now, whenever I apply the name paragraph style, the next paragraph will apply the job title. So we're going to repeat this in the series using editing each style to use the style that comes after it as the next style. So here for our job title, we're going to edit and tell the next title or the next style to be the year's experience. For year's experience, we want the next style to be skills. Now I have created this series, but if I want to select all of this text and have it apply in sequence, the last thing I need to do is to make sure that the last style in the series has its next style to use set to be the first style in the series. So I'm going to edit my skills style to use name as the next style. So here we have created a looped series that it will first apply the name, then the job title, then the years of experience, then the skills, and then start over and apply again the name in this sequence to all text that is selected. It is important that to apply this, you do have to right-click and apply and choose the longest in the list. You do need to make sure that all the text that you want the series of styles to be applied to is selected. If I only select the first item, it will only apply styling to the first paragraph. So here I'm going to go ahead and select all of my text. And I want to apply starting with the first style used, or the style used for the first paragraph of text that I have selected. So that for us is name. If I just click name and apply it, it will apply name to every paragraph that is selected. When using next style options, it's very important that you right-click and choose apply the style, in this case name, then next style. It was recommended to me from an Adobe trainer that whenever you're applying paragraph styles, you should right-click and then choose the longest option in the list for applying. So here I have apply name. The longest option is apply name, then next style. Additionally, you could see options for apply name, then next style clear overrides or clear character styles. If you want the style to apply exactly as you have it programmed without any additional changes of character styles or overrides, that's when you would choose the longest item in the list to clear those items. Here we simply just need to apply name, then next style. We see that quickly and easily all of our text is consistently formatted throughout this whole list using our paragraph styles in a sequence. This was much more efficient to apply than having to manually apply 4 different styles to 6 different blocks of information. Next, we're going to look at the same example and use the paragraph styles that we have already created, but look at options for how we can troubleshoot when those styles can break down. We're also going to look at ways that we can edit and update the styles to use different styling. Here, we're going to go ahead and start by applying our styles. First, I'm going to apply the style here for our team title. And you can see what's nice about this style is that it also included the column paragraph settings to span columns, so that even though I have a 2-column text box here, it's saved into the style that whenever it is used, this text should span all columns. Next, I'm going to go ahead and select the rest of my text, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that name, then next style. I can see here that I have some unexpected results. The style did not apply how I expected it to. If I look at this, and I know the pattern that I created name, then job title, then years experience, then skills, it should then next apply the name. But when I look at this first name, Michael Lee, I can see that it is using the styling for the job title and not the style for name. The reason for this is because we have an empty blank paragraph here. Even though there is no text in this paragraph, because the paragraph marker exists there, InDesign is trying to apply the name style to this paragraph. you can see that when I have my cursor placed in this paragraph or I select that symbol, the name paragraph style is being applied. This is causing the rest of the text to be styled out of sequence. It's important to note these paragraph markers, these invisible characters for paragraphs, do have a significant impact on how styles can be applied, so it's important to remove any of the empty paragraphs. It's a good rule of thumb, if you need paragraph spacing between different paragraphs, that you should use the options for paragraph spacing and avoid using empty blank paragraphs to put space between different paragraphs. So here I'm going to go ahead and remove. Now this applies the style from previously. I do see, I'm going to undo that. I want to remove just this one empty paragraph. It seemed that it had removed both this paragraph and that paragraph. I want to keep that one, but I want to remove this one. So with just this one selected, I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard. Now you see, it doesn't automatically correct the style. It did just remove the extra paragraph here. I now also have some overset text, and I can see this because of the little red plus box here at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and click on that and draw a new text box so I can see what text is overflowing this box. In doing this, what we have created is a threaded text box where this box is threaded to this one and text will flow between both. When we correct our styles, we should be able to resolve this issue of overset text, but I need to be able to select all of my text but not including the title, so I needed to have this box to select it. I'm going to go ahead and select all of my text again and tell it to apply name, then next style. Again, I see it's looking good here, but here the style breaks down again because of the empty paragraph. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And here I'm just going to go ahead and select the text from where the style breaks down through the end of my text and apply job title, then next style. If you're having trouble, I've applied job title. I should have applied name. Name, then next style. Then next style. I have one last empty paragraph here to correct. When I remove this and apply my style again, name, then next style, I see that this is corrected. So it's important to know how to troubleshoot your styles when they're not working correctly. In this case, the style was breaking down because of multiple instances of empty blank paragraphs. It can be easier to identify this if, like in our screen here, you have your show hidden characters turned on. It's very efficient to be able to apply styles in a sequence or series like this, but we see that it was quite troublesome to have to remove the empty paragraph, then restyle it. Oh, there's another empty paragraph, restyle it. It's recommended, if you know that you're going to be using paragraph styles with next style options to create a series of styles to be applied, go ahead and format your text first before applying styling to avoid having any empty paragraphs between different sections. Lastly, we're going to go ahead and leverage the benefit of our use of styles to go ahead and edit this text with some different settings. In this case, I want to edit my styles to use an all caps styling. So I want to apply that to the job title, maybe to increase the hierarchy a little bit, or just to style it a little bit differently to stand out and increase our styling there. In previous examples, we have formatted the text to use different options and then created our style. So here to edit it, I'm going to edit job title, and I'm going to look for where I can style this to be all caps. This happens to be in our basic character formats and applies to the case. So here in basic character formats, under case, I'm going to drop down and choose all caps for the styling and click OK to save. Now I can see that all of my instances of job titles have been updated to use the new style that includes all caps as part of the styling. In our last example, using the same information, we are going to look at ways to troubleshoot how styles that are set up to use next styles in a sequence can be troubleshooted for when it doesn't apply correctly because there's inconsistent formatting of the text. So again, we're going to repeat what we did before and apply our styles by first applying the team title style and then selecting our text and starting with the name style, apply name, then next style. Like in our previous example, we see that it is applying correctly until it doesn't. We see that the style breaks down here at Emily Davis. While the first two items have a name, a title, years experience, and a description, when we get to Emily, we see that we have a name, a title, but no years of experience. So it is now applying the years of experience style to the skills information, and that is causing the style to be applied out of sequence through the remainder of the text. Certainly different ways to resolve this would be work with your customer and say, hey, Emily didn't provide years of experience, can you please provide that, add that information and restyle, assuming that this information is correct and how they want it to appear, and for whatever reason this person does not have years of experience that they want to list, then we need to look at a different way to correct the styling of this text. Again, I still don't want to have to manually apply for all the paragraphs following this, each individual paragraph style. So I'm going to start with where the style breaks down. So it's correct here for the name, it is correct here for the job title. Where it breaks down is here at the skills. So beginning here and selecting all the rest of my text, where I've previously always applied name then next style, I'm going to use a different option here because the first style that I want to apply is the skills style. With my text selected, I'm going to say apply skills, then next style. Because these are set up well with the looped sequence of styles to be applied, it does not matter which style I start with, I can apply the series after it. So this is looking good until we get to the last option for Robert Thompson. We have the correct name styling, but we have the title being applied to the years of experience because for whatever reason, Robert Thompson in this team apparently does not have a job title. So again, to see, it does not matter what style we're starting with, we can continue with the options for applying next style. By selecting our text, the first style I want to apply here would be the years of experience. So I'm going to apply years of experience, then next style. Again, while this can be a little cumbersome, if there are too many instances of this, it is easy to start with whatever style is needed, then next style to reapply these. Either way, this systematic programming of a sequence of styles to be applied is still way more efficient to apply in options like this. However, there's not the way to override it, so I definitely wanted to demonstrate the ways that this can be troubleshooted or corrected so you know how to easily fix any of these errors that do commonly come up with lots of different types of text formatting. As a last feature, to really maximize our use of styles here, we do have all of these paragraph styles that are set up to use next style options to apply the style in a sequence. We're going to add an additional caveat to it of creating a character style and then applying that as nested. So in this case, we want to style this text so that the amount of years of experience stands out a little bit more than the words experience itself. So to style this, I'm going to select my first instance of years of experience. I'm going to select just the number and the word years. This is what I want to use. I want this to stand out more than the rest of it. So I'm just going to style this. I'm going to go ahead and style it so that it uses a bold version of the font and a cyan color. Bold. I actually want that to be very bold. I'm going to use extra bold in this case. And I'm also going to apply the color cyan. Again, I can see that this is now applied as an override to this paragraph style. Since I only want it to apply to this information and not the rest of it, I'm going to need a character style because I have two styles applied within the same paragraph. With my text selected, I'm going to go ahead and create my character style by Alt-Option clicking on the New Style button. And I'm going to go ahead and name this Bold Cyan Years. Since each of my years of experience is consistently formatted to say the number, the word years, and then of experience, I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that consistent styling to have an opportunity to nest this character style into the paragraph style. So going back to my paragraph styles, I'm going to go to my years experience, right-click to edit, and go to my drop caps and nested style options, choose New Nested Style, and drop down to select my bold cyan years. In this case, I don't have a character marker like an @ symbol or a colon or a $sign that I can consistently use, but I have evaluated my text and see that I always have a number and then the word years. So we're going to apply this through 2 words, because even though 10 is 2 characters, because there's no space between it, it should still be considered 1 word. So even though I have a difference between the different items, it should apply correctly. Since my paragraph style was already applied to text, when I made the change to nest the character style into it, it automatically applied to my text. And we can see the one place where it's missing because years of experience was not provided. Again, keep in mind that successfully using styles like this does require text to be consistently formatted. If you have a list that is inconsistent in the order that information is provided, consider correcting that order to be consistent. Or if random bits of information are included, sometimes there's a title, sometimes there's experience, sometimes there's an email address. If it's not consistently formatted, then you may have to take the more labor-intensive route of manually applying styles, but do evaluate your text. If you see that there is a consistent pattern of how the information is presented, then leverage the benefits of your paragraph and character styles to create nested styles, to create next style options, to apply this much more efficiently.